Is hell a lake of fire? Uh, I believe Brother Licks had started the last prompt, so Gio, it's your turn to start this prompt. Is hell a lake of fire? Gio, the table's yours.
Well, that's not the prompt I
Wait,
gave,
it's not.
but I would have to admit, I was not specific on
Well, what did you mean?
just like the other
Yeah,
prompts.
what did you mean? Like, what did
I don't
you?
believe the Greek aspect that many Christians had adopted towards the or pertaining to the hell belief, as far as like the underground and everlasting uh,
So your prompt is,
afterlife,
your prompt is
denying
hell.
it. Yeah,
Okay, your prompt is denying hell.
yeah.
Okay,
As far as a Greek mythological uh, belief
okay.
or truth.
Is hell pertaining to a Greek mythology belief? Is hell real? Go ahead, expound on that, Geo. The table's yours.
So the word hell in the Bible means Sheol. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Sheol, Sheol. Basically, I do have a verse actually.
I could bring up the verses if you want.
Oh yeah, you can. I probably have a different one, but you can definitely bring up one if you want.
Which one are you looking for?
Oh, I don't know if I put it in my notes. Hold on. I have so many notes I have to scroll up. Shoot. Okay. I think I found it. Okay. Deuteronomy 32:22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, Sheol, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. And I believe I have another one. So, I mean, there's another instance of like people alive or living that, visits hell. I believe Jesus is one of them. Uh, there's another verse like Genesis 37:35. I will go down to shore to my son, morning. So, to me, my understanding with reading the Bible, uh, the lake of Gehenna or the lake of fire was just outside of not Israel, but Jerusalem, and it's the separation of God, and that's where they put the dead bodies at, and of course the wicked bodies. Um, to my understanding, that they were put into the pit, Sheol, which is a grave pit, and they cast fire into it to destroy the body and the soul, or believed to destroy the soul. Um, and that seems to be a older Jewish tradition that they did. If he wasn't in the book of life, in doing that, it means that if your soul was destroyed, uh, you were not gonna um, go to the kingdom of heaven.
Can I make a small objection to that and then Baldwin take the whole thing over?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, so first of all, nowhere in the Jewish paradigm um, do we see that souls can be destroyed like stop existing, like nowhere ever. And also no Jewish scholar or rabbi ever held to the thought that Sheol is a actual pit in Jerusalem where they put the bodies. And also, if you go to Second Peter, right,
Hmm.
in the Greek, the Greek of the original, when Peter says that Christ went to Hades or Hades in the English to preach to the
Hmm.
people, and when you go to the Hebrew translation of Second Peter, the word for Hades there is Sheol. And also in Josephus, not Josephus, my bad, Philo, who is a first century historian from Alexandria, Jewish historian, by the way, when he talks
Hmm.
and commentates on the Hebrew scriptures, he verbatim says that there was no sect that believed that that Sheol was not well, that Sheol was something physical, a physical place. It's Hades in English, Hades in Greek. I've never heard this interpretation before. Baldwin can take over.
Can you repeat your last part?
Yeah, I said no one ever, like no Jew, no scholar, no historian, Jewish, etc., he had ever held to the position that it was a physical pit that they threw bodies at, and we see even in the scripture, as is in Second Peter, that it's Hades. It's Sheol is literally means Hades in the Greek, and this is from the Septuagint. If you go to the Septuagint of the Old Testament, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, every
Hmm.
time that you see Sheol in Hebrew, it's Hades in Greek, and it is objective historically that the apostles and the early church fathers were reading the Septuagint. So Baldwin can,
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah, I
else
was
want to
thinking
add?
maybe if uh if Gio wanted to say something, right?
Yeah, let Gio respond to that. Then Baldwin to respond, and Gio respond. Then we move on to the next prompt.
Okay.
So, what is Hades? What is your definition, or what do you know of
yeah.
what Hades is?
As
Can
we
I
see in
go?
the, yeah, sure, absolutely, go.
Okay. So we see that there's two words, right? We
Hmm.
see
Right.
that there's Hades in Greek and Sheol in Hebrew. So that's one thing. And then we see that there's also the thing you referenced, which is Gehenna or like Gehinnom in Hebrew.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so we see that in Sheol or Hades, you have Psalm 16. What are my notes? Psalm 16:10, which actually talks about Sheol, right?
Hmm.
Saying that you will not abandon me to the realm of the dead, nor will you let your faithful one see decay. And so the realm of the dead is Sheol, right?
Hmm.
Because
Right.
that's
That's what I said.
yeah, that's the Hebrew word. And then
Hmm.
also Luke 16:23, when Jesus uses the parable of the rich man, he actually so of course the parables are predicate like it's their stories, but they're not
Right.
stories using false things because they're here to teach true things. So the images would be talking about true things. And what you see in Luke 16 is that the rich man is in Hades, right? In Hades, and
Hmm.
he's in the realm of the dead, in the bosom of Abraham. And
Hmm.
there's like Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham, and the rich man in Hades, right? And so the rich man is conscious, right? He has a soul. He is able to
Hmm.
see Abraham. He is able to talk and reason. And so, of course, we wouldn't be talking about the same thing than Jesus talks about in Matthew 10:28, where he says that the body and soul do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. So here, he's not
Right.
talking about the realm of the dead, right? Because even in the realm of the dead, it's only the physically dead, right? But it's not. It's not the ones that are soul destroyed. So
No, I
and
wasn't
also
saying soul is destroyed. I wasn't saying that, but
no, but I'm saying the soul would be destroyed in the case of Gehenna, right? So
right, right.
In Christian revelation, the lake of fire is prepared for the devil and his angels, so the demons, and also like is going to use that place to also bring the people who actually deserve it. Um, but it's not the same place than the realm of the dead. So when Christ dies physically, he goes to preach to the dead. He goes to preach to people in jail, people in Sheol, in Hades, and so people like Plato, Aristotle, everyone, even the non-Jews, even the Jews, the patriarchs, Abraham, Moses, all those people, to everyone who believes in him, he brings them up, and that's when that's the herring of Hades. That's when all those people actually come in heaven because Jesus opens heaven for them. Here, he goes to preach to people who waited on him, to all the people that were already dead in the past. So that's why it's fair, and it's two different places. And actually, when you see Gehinnom, when you see the verses about Gehinnom, in like I think that's 2 Kings 23:10, and also yeah, 2 Kings 23:10, it's talking about the real place out of Jerusalem. But as we see often, you have this relationship of real places with with like spiritual places. So, for example,
Mhm.
Paul talks about the heavenly Zion. You have come to the heavenly Zion. Instead, you have come to Mount Zion, right? In Hebrews 12:22, you have come to Mount Zion. So, talking about the real mountain. But here, he's talking about the heavenly Jerusalem. He's talking about the actual Israel. And in the same way, you see Israel being associated with a specific place in time and space, right? And also linked to a spiritual reality. And also, even the name Israel, in terms of the person, Jacob, right, is a real patriarch, a real person that embodies the whole of the Hebrews, right? Just like Moses represented the whole of the Hebrews in Numbers and in Exodus when you see them walking through the desert. And that's the same reality you see that you understand that the reality between material and spiritual. We see the same thing today with Christians, actually, because you see that the church is both like a physical institution, a physical gathering of physical real people that are visible, visible assembly, and also an invisible spiritual assembly of people who may like joined by God into the church without having been baptized or anything, saved extra normatively, exceptionally, right, by God, and also the people who are already with God, which are also part of this assembly, right? So you see the link between material and physical, and you see that there's types and anti-types. So it's even Peter does this also with baptism. So you see this relationship being all over the Bible and all over Christian revelation. Yeah.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Licks, do you have anything to add on to Baldwin's statement?
Let me think. No, 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 and not only that. Actually, something small that I don't know why I didn't mention or why Baldwin didn't. Even in like the foundational verse of the church, it literally says, "You, Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it." And again, if you go to the Hebrew, it's Sheol, and Sheol is where the people of the old covenant we're going. What Christ means there is that the old covenant will not prevail against the new one. The new one is suprematory, the new one is universal, it's there to stay for the ages to come.
Yeah, yeah. So that's also talking about the herring of Hades, right?
Exactly.
One more rebuttal, Geo, then we're gonna move on to the next prompt.
Mhm. We agreed with one thing, as far as show, but honestly, I mean, he told me something. I ain't gonna lie. He told me something about the differences, how one is physical and the other is spiritual. So
Yep.
I
Well,
do agree with
it's like
that. He
one and the
provided a
same.
verse. Huh?
Sorry, sorry. It's like
No,
one and the
no.
same. Yeah, one and the
Yeah, yeah,
same.
yeah.
It's
It's like one and the same. Like you explained with the church how it's physical, but it is
yeah,
also spiritual.
yeah.
Which I
So
mean,
just like this is also in Christ, right? So Christ is called the image of God, and oftentimes, most often, when you read God, in even in the New Testament, it's talking about the Father because He is the autotheos. I'm not going to get into Trinitarianism here, but uh,
mhm,
being the image of God, like the physical, visible image. Also, the fact that God can be represented. So there's also this relationship of the concepts and the representation, right? So yeah, type and anti-type, uh, people being saved. We talked about the flood. People being saved through the ark, and also people being saved through water baptism, entering into the church, which is the ark of salvation against damnation of of people, right? So it's always those parallels, right?
mhm.
Perfect.